Good evening, everyone. This is Guardian Voice of the Missing weekly podcast. My name is Tatum Gray, and I am going to be hosting. Hope you guys are all doing well. Please let me know that you guys are there. I will tell you guys I got restricted on Facebook, so I'm only able to share on my platforms and missing persons alert. So if you guys see any flyers out there, if you guys could please share those around for me, I would greatly appreciate it. I am restricted again until Friday. I just got off restriction and got put back on for, I have no idea why. It seems like a lot of advocates right now are getting restricted on sharing missing person stuff, but we'll continue to power through. So I hope everybody can hear me. I hope it is actually posted and going live right now on the Guardian platforms on Facebook, but also my YouTube channel. So, hi, Ellen. Good to see you. I'm doing good. Hi, Starisha Bennett. Nice to meet you. Sharon, good to see you. Good evening, Sharon. How are you? I hope you guys are doing good. I got 2 Sharons in here tonight. That's great. Oh, you got, yeah. There's a lot of us that are getting restricted, and I don't understand why. I don't really share anything other than missing person stuff, but there's a lot of great advocates out there. We just keep powering through it. So don't give up. If you have a platform and you're getting restricted, don't worry. The rest of us are sharing you guys and getting stuff out there. I have 2 people that said hello. I don't know who you are. To let you guys know, if you're watching through the group, you have to give StreamYard permission for me to see who you are on Facebook. Now, if you watch on Guardian page, you don't have to do that. And I think YouTube, you don't have to do that either. So just depending on where you are watching from, I can see you and sometimes I can't see you. So if you guys can tell me who you are, or I do have the link on top for StreamYard for you guys to just go in and say, yes, it's okay to share my Facebook. So I am glad to see you guys all here tonight. I do have some new stories and cases to share for you guys. I do have some updates on a couple of the cases. I've had to update flyers with some new information on them. Hi, Desmond. And so I want to go ahead and get going. And Sharon, I agree 100%. Never give up on the missing. That I feel the same way. So I'm really glad to see you guys all here. And I want to go and get started. If you guys have any questions, if there's family that is out there, feel free to comment if it's your first time. We do discussions and everything. If you're a family member, you have any updates or anything, please let us know. Just know that I feel like Guardian Voice of the Missing families that are out there, we have a great group of people that are out here. We have a lot of supportive families that are going through the same thing. I even have families that, have had their loved ones located, but they still support the other families out there. So I hope that you find, if you are new to the page of the podcast, just know that this is safe for you guys to be here. We will protect you guys and always let you know that you are not alone in this journey that you're going through and stuff, so that we are all supportive of all of you guys. So we're going to go ahead and get started. The first 2 cases that I have are actually a case of two people missing together. I had family reach out to me and I made flyers. I made 2 separate flyers for them, but it's going to be basically the same information, but I wanted to share them both. So the first missing case that I have, this is Dakota Denning. He is missing out of Salt Lake City, Utah on August 19th of 2023. He is 23 years old, 6'1", 180 pounds, brown hair and brown eyes. He does have a brown mustache and beard, and he does have long hair, so he usually has it in a ponytail. He does have a scar on his right eyebrow. Dakota does go by the name Coda. He is enrolled in the Chippewa Cree Nation in Montana. He does suffer from depression and substance abuse issues. Originally, he's from Box Elder, Montana, on the Rocky Boy Reservation. Dakota and his father, Eli Stropesbury, who I do have a picture of his dad, Eli, there, traveled to Salt Lake City, Utah recently prior to their disappearance. They were known to be living in homeless camps in the area and living in a tent. However, family had told me that they had been living with someone out there, but family cannot get in contact with that person either anymore. Now, Dakota had regular contact with his loved ones, and he has never went this long without contacting someone. They had been, like I said, staying with someone in that area. However, loved ones are not able to get a hold of them. Other than that, they don't know anybody in that area. Dakota had been known to be in Midvale, Utah, or Fort Hall, Idaho. So these are important things to get out there. So they could have traveled out of the Salt Lake City area. We do not know, but always making sure if there's areas that you think that your loved ones could be or have traveled to, it's always good to get those out on the flyer so we can get that information out there into those other areas. If you have any information regarding Dakota's disappearance or his father Eli's disappearance, or you know his whereabouts, please call Salt Lake City, Utah Police Department at 801-799-3000. So I am going to go ahead and do Eli's as well, just so everybody can have an idea of what to look for him. Again, missing out of the Salt Lake City, Utah area. He is 53 years old, 6'1", 160 pounds, brown. He has black hair, but it is graying, and he has brown eyes. He does have a mustache and a beard, which is gray, as you can see in that picture. He has a tattoo on his forearm with the letter A, and his other forearm has the letter D. His nose has been broken in the past, and it is noticeable, and he does wear glasses. Eli goes by the name Billy. He is enrolled in the Assiniboine Sioux tribe in Montana, and I do not think I said that correctly. He does struggle with depression and substance abuse. He, too, is originally from Box Elder, Montana, on the Rocky Boy Reservation. Him and his son, like I said before, had been traveling together. They had been living in homeless camps there in Salt Lake City. And again, family cannot get a hold of the one person they know they had been staying with. And again, it is not like Eli not to have regular contact with his loved ones. And that's something that I want people really to understand. Just because someone is homeless or, has substance abuse or mental health, a lot of these people have regular contact with their loved ones. And so when they stop having contact, that is a big, high concern and worry about their well-being. Also, Billy, he does carry a backpack. So again, if you guys have any information on Dakota or Eli and about their disappearance, or you might know their whereabouts, please call the Salt Lake City, Utah Police Department at 801-799-3000. It just always concerns me with the weather changing and everything, where they could be. Hi, Sue. How are you? So definitely, if we could get those flyers going, I do have them out. I have almost everybody tonight out on Guardian, Voice of the Missing platforms, but also the missing persons alerts, and they have state ones too. So I have them out on there. That's all the farther I can share, other than my personal page, which I share flyers to. So just to let you guys know, that's all the farther I can do until after Friday, and hopefully they don't restrict me again. But we'll keep powering through and make sure these flyers get seen. So even I always tell people, if you've never been on the podcast before, even if that person went missing in a certain state, I always think it's good to do the surrounding states. Any flyer that I do goes nationwide. We hit all 50 states, Puerto Rico, Canada. We put out flyers everywhere between myself and Allison with Missing Persons Alerts, several other advocates that are out here. We get your guys' flyers everywhere for you guys. So just if you're having problems or anything on platforms, please let me know. But just know that it is going to go everywhere we can possibly get it seen. So we want to make sure that you guys know that we are out here to get the information out. This next case is an older case from 2018. This is Adam Machowski. He is missing from Wilkes-Barre Township in Pennsylvania on January 1st of 2018. He was 30 years old at the time of his disappearance. He is now 36. He's between 5'10", 6 foot tall, 155 pounds, 220 pounds. He has brown hair and brown eyes. He may have long, short, or fully shaved hair and or beard. He is blind in his right eye, and he normally does wear glasses. There is very little out on Adam's case. So if there's any family out there or anybody that knows Adam that has more information that I could put out there on the flyer and get him back out on the podcast and get that information out, I would greatly appreciate it. If you have any information regarding Adam's disappearance or you know his whereabouts, please call the Wilkes-Barre, Pennsylvania City Police Department at 570-208-4201. And if you guys have any questions or anything that you guys would like to say, just let me know. I will try to get those comments up as soon as I can. This next case is another case missing out of 2018. This is Craig Stephen Finn. He is missing out of Rancho Mirage, California. On June 24th of 2018, he was 61 years old at the time of his disappearance. He is now 67, 5'8" to 5'10", 160 to 180 pounds. He has gray hair and brown eyes. He does wear glasses. His fingertips on 2 fingers are missing to the nail bed from a prior motorcycle accident. Craig was last known to be visiting the Rancho Mirage, California on June 24th, 2018. However, he does reside in Stanton, California, which is in Orange County. He has not been in contact with his loved ones since. If you have any information regarding Craig's disappearance or you know his whereabouts, please call the Riverside County, California Sheriff's Palm Desert Station at 760-836-1600. Last week, I had covered a lot of cases that the Riverside Police Department is covering. I had a lot of families out there that have reached out that feel like they're not getting enough coverage in that area, and there are a lot of missing people. In that area alone, out on Namus, there's 110 missing people. Those are just the ones that are out on Namus. There could be more. Riverside County is not the only ones handling those cases, but those are cases in that area. That is a very extreme high number of missing people. So definitely, I told them I would try to get out as many cases as I possibly can. So if you have family that is out there or you have a missing loved one, in fact, anywhere, please let me know. If your area has high missing people, please let me know. I will try to get those cases out there as quickly as possible for you all. This next case I've been sharing every week. He's a critical missing case. This is Harry Allen Lee. He is missing out of Torrance, California on November 20th of 2023. He is 58 years old, 5'11", 220 pounds, brown hair with some gray in it and green eyes. He does wear reading glasses, but only to read. He has a scar on his abdomen from surgery as a child. He may be walking with a cane. He has no teeth, but he does not wear dentures. He does go by the name Allen. Allen is a diabetic and his blood sugar has a history of running low recently. He has sleep apnea and shoulder pain, which may require surgery. He is without his medication that he needs daily. Harry was last seen wearing a dark gray zip-up hoodie, sweatshirt, jeans, dark ball cap on a camera at the 7-Eleven store with around 5:50 a.m. on November 20th, 2023. Now, this location of this 7-Eleven is just right behind where he lives. So that kind of gives you an idea of the area. He had bought a pack of cigarettes and a drink. A witness that knew him said that he had saw him and he looked very tired and wore down. He was last seen again on camera walking towards his apartment complex of the Eli Kai Apartments at 6 a.m. He had last spoke to his employer at 5 a.m. that morning. The individual stated that he was slurring his speech and was concerned about his blood sugar and possibly needing medical attention. When he had missed work, which was very out of the ordinary, there was a wellness check that was conducted. When the police went to his apartment, they noticed he did not take his phone, ID, a backpack that he always had with him, and his car was parked in the garage where he always parked it. But they did notice that his apartment key was missing from his keyring. A little to know about Allen is he is a registered nurse who is dedicated to his profession and is always helping others out, especially in the homeless community. One thing that I would share about how much he does help with the homeless community is he's even taken in some homeless individuals, and taking care of them, got them back on their feet and stuff like that. So that he was very dedicated to his profession and to helping out the homeless community. He has no activity in his bank accounts, which is out of the ordinary. It is not like him to not have contact with loved ones. If you have any information regarding Harry's disappearance or you know his whereabouts, please call Torrance, California Police Department at 310-328-3456 or 310-618-5570. So I have updated his flyer with a more recent picture of him, but also another number to contact law enforcement. I will tell you at the moment there has not been any more updates of him being seen on camera. His family is keeping, up to date. Law enforcement has been pretty good at keeping up to date with them on any developments that they do have. I will tell you, at the moment, they do not feel like anybody in the homeless community has anything to do with its disappearance. The biggest thing that we are all worried about is the fact that medically we are concerned about his well-being at the time because he had been missing work, and for him not to come to work is very out of the ordinary. Sharon says she's sharing this podcast to all the missing persons group as I do every week. Thank you, Sharon. I appreciate it. I really, really do. And I know that the family and the loved ones appreciate it as well. So thank you very much for doing that. This next case is an older case I have shared before. I did update his flyer. This is Johnny Ray Kincaid. He's missing out of Kansas City, Missouri on August 22nd, 2008. He was 41 years old at the time of his disappearance. He is now 56, 5'11", 150 to 195 pounds, brown hair, and blue eyes. He does have freckles. He has scars on both of his eyes, back of his right elbow, right leg, and right thigh. He does have unknown tattoos. So again, if there's any family members out there that knows him, if you have his tattoos and what they are, pictures or anything like that, I would love to get those out on his flyers. I think those are highly important on missing persons cases to help identify them. So his tattoos are on his left shoulder, right arm, right shoulder, and upper left arm. He may go by the name John. He was last seen in the area of 3420 Broadway in Kansas City, Missouri, around 6:30 a.m. His vehicle he was driving was located about a week later in the area of 12th and Indiana. He has not been seen or heard from since, and foul play is suspected in his case. If you have any information regarding Johnny's disappearance or you know his whereabouts, please call the Kansas City, Missouri Police Department at 816-234-5136. All right. The next case I do every week for the family. This is Dana Jane Bruce. She is missing out of Sedalia, Missouri on October 4th, 2008. She was 23 years old at the time of her disappearance. She would now be 37, 5'2", and 98 pounds, brown hair, green and hazel eyes. She had red highlights in her hair at the time of her disappearance, which was shoulder length and wavy with bangs. She is blind in her left eye. She has both of her ears pierced. She has a 2-inch scar along her lower spine and a stapled scar on her right shoulder. She does have that tattoo in the picture of her on her upper left arm of a teddy bear and wings with the banner with the name Dylan. She was last seen wearing a black shirt with the word Rebel on the front, silver lettering, blue jeans, and leaving her children's babysitter home where she had left them earlier that day so she could go out. And she had returned around midnight to give the babysitter more money and asked her to watch the children the rest of the night. She had been seen at Malone's Bar on Main Street, which was having an anniversary party with a young man driving a late Ford F-150 truck earlier in the night of her disappearance. And she did leave with him at 11:30 when she went to give her babysitter more money. So police have identified that individual the night that she had disappeared. He had traveled to Atlanta, Georgia, and the police had questioned him after he had been arrested on unrelated charges. He has never been named publicly, but police are we're calling him a person of interest. I do not know if he is still a person of interest. He had said that him and Dana had parted ways after they had left the bar, and he had never seen her again. There is reported that other individuals, she did leave with other individuals, about 5 individuals that night, somewhere around that, and had went to a home afterwards, like for like an after party or whatever. During that time, there has been a report that something did happen that night, that there was drugs involved, and that someone may or may not, because I am not a judge, overdosed her, and they had wrapped her up in carpet and taken her somewhere. This has not been confirmed by the police, but this is information I think that needs to get out there. In her case, there are people talking. There's a lot of talk about her case and stuff. There has been a report that police feel like they are getting closer to maybe hopefully solving her case. But that, again, we do not know whether that is true or not. She did leave all of her belongings behind and doesn't have a bank account, credit cards, phone, or vehicle. It is unknown if she did have her ID at the time. She was known as a devoted mom who would never leave or abandon her children. And that is one thing that, you know, again, in a lot of these cases, people that have children and being a devoted parent, and they just all of a sudden leave their children behind. The other big piece with her is the fact that she has signed a lease for a new home for her and her children the day she went missing. Foul play is suspected in her disappearance. If you have any information regarding Dana's disappearance or you know her whereabouts, please call the Sedalia, Missouri Police Department at 660-826-8100 or 660-827-7823, or you can call the Missouri State Highway Patrol at 573-526-6178 or 866-362-6422. And one of the biggest things that my heart just really goes out is the fact that, you know, when a parent goes missing and their children have no idea what happened to their parent. And a lot of these cases, I know it takes a lot of time for people to start talking. Sometimes it takes law enforcement time to really take cases serious. I really stress, if someone is missing, you report it as soon as possible. The FBI, coming even straight from the FBI, they tell people to report people missing as soon as possible. One thing that I know a lot of families have issues and problems with is law enforcement won't take reports. I will tell you that every state across the nation has to take a police report. It is in the state statutes, it is the law, and they have to do it. Now, I will also tell you that with all the new police officers that are coming out and stuff, they may not know all the statutes. But I want to arm you guys with the tools that you can use to really push getting these missing persons reports done. Putting out that state statute out there. I do have some of them posted on Guardian. I'm still working on that. That is a huge project that I'm trying to work on to get all that out there. But if you guys ever have problems with making missing persons reports, please reach out to me. If you're having problems communicating with law enforcement, this is all stuff that we have really been trying to do. There are some really, really great agencies out there that are training their officers and stuff to take missing persons reports, get the information that they need, and how to work with the families. One thing that when I talk to law enforcement in the agencies that I've worked with, I said, even just as simple, we don't have anything new right now, but you know, we're still working on it. We're still working on leads, but I have nothing new. One of the other big things that I will tell you as a family is I would get an email from the detective. Get an email, because that is usually a little bit easier. Law enforcement says a lot of times for them to be able to communicate, because they're not always at their desk, which I mean is a good thing. That means they're out there, you know, doing stuff. So it's harder to contact. But I will tell you, if you guys get tips and everything, please call the non-emergency lines, because if that detective is out of the office, they may not get that tip for several days, and where someone else could have went out and checked out a tip and stuff while that officer was out. that would be more helpful. I would say even if you do call that non-emergency line to send in that tip to talk to somebody, I would still follow up and email the main person that is running the case, so they know what is going on in case there's a crossover with officers and stuff. But I would really strongly suggest getting the phone number, but also try to get an email from where you can talk to them back and forth and they're able to communicate with you guys a little bit better. That is what seems to work. I do that a lot with law enforcement, is the email and stuff, so I can send them information as well. So that's something I don't think that a lot of people think about, but I just wanted really to share that with you guys and let you know. You are most welcome, Ellen, and I will continue to do that. Hi, Katrina. I haven't seen you for a while. How are you doing? This next case is an older case. This is Ilma Sarcino. She is missing out of Riverside, California on February 11th, 2011. She was 47 years old at the time of her disappearance. She is now 59. 4'11" to 5 foot, 110 to 118 pounds, black hair and brown eyes. She has a surgical scar across her abdomen, and she may use the last name Morales. So she was last seen at home in the 4200 block of Hale Street in Riverside, California in the morning, leaving for her dry cleaning job on February 11th, 2011. At the time of her disappearance, her 20-year-old nephew, Adolfo Jose Morales Barjeno, who is pictured here, was living with her and 2 other male boarders. At some time, she had mentioned that she was possibly taking a trip to Las Vegas, but she didn't mention that it would be anytime soon. When the other 2 boarders had asked her nephew where she was, he had said that she went to Guatemala. However, her purse, clothing, makeup bag were all left in her room, which was in disarray. Also, her driver's license, passports, and credit cards were all left behind as well. Her nephew had told the 2 boarders that he was authorized by her to collect rent. However, they refused and reported her missing on March 4th, 2011. The weekend after her disappearance, her nephew was driving her car, carrying large amounts of cash despite being unemployed, and checked into a hotel under an assumed name, paying with cash. Ilma was known to keep large amounts of cash stored in various places in her house. Law enforcement believed that she had interrupted him, her nephew, robbing her home, and he had killed her. During his trial in 2012, it is argued that there is no evidence that she's deceased. However, her nephew was convicted on October 2012 and is sentenced to life in prison. She has never been located. If you have any information regarding her disappearance or you know her whereabouts, please call the Riverside, California Police Department at 951-354-2007. One thing that I would like to share, yes, this individual has been convicted in a court of law for her murder. However, she will remain missing until she is located. All of these cases, until someone is located and is confirmed by police that they have been located, will continue to be missing until they are found. In her case, hopefully he'll come forward and, say what really happened if he really knows, but he has been convicted in a court of law for her murder. And I will tell you, in a lot of cases, it is very, very hard to get a conviction with no body. So they must have had enough evidence and enough to believe that he is responsible for her disappearance. So definitely continue to share her flyers, because we would still like to get her back to her loved ones, wherever she is. And Sharon said hello to Katrina. You are most welcome. And Sharon said she was getting ready to ask that, Katrina, where have you been? So it's always good to see other advocates come on here. And like I say, I thank all the advocates for the jobs that they do. They do a lot of really good work. A lot of the advocates that I have been involved with, and, we network and everything like that. So I will tell you there are a lot of great advocates out there, and there's also advocates that are not really great. So I always try to let you families know, please be careful who you give information out, who you trust, people who you trust with information, because not everybody is out there to help you. So please be careful. Please protect your information. I do not put numbers on flyers. That is to protect you. But I also try to keep updating, and I always keep in contact with family members. So just know that is a protection for you. I have had to deal with cases where people have attacked families. I've had cases where people have said horrendous things that no family should ever, in fact, no person should ever hear, and help them handle those situations. So please be careful with your guys' information out there. This next case is out of Okeechobee, Oklahoma. This is Kevin Kilgore. He went missing on February 1st of 2023. He is 44 years old, and at the time of his disappearance, he is now 45. 4'9" to 5 foot, 160 pounds, brown hair, and hazel eyes. One thing that for all the new people that are here, when you see that red handprint, this means that this individual is indigenous. And I always want to put that out there because I feel like a lot of the indigenous cases do not get seen. And I want people to be able to recognize those as well. He has 2 front teeth that are missing, and he has fake teeth. He has a mark above his right eyebrow and a scar on his left forearm. Kevin has a tattoo on his left forearm of a train with smoke that's coming out of it. And it's in that tree line in the background. You can kind of see it on the picture that I have. He has a K with another K that also is pictured there inside that under his forearm. He also has the word perception on the top of his right wrist. I do not have that picture. He is enrolled in the Muskogee Creek Nation. He drives that green 1999 Ford Explorer with Oklahoma license plate B4W92. His last contact with family was on October 11th of 2022, but there have been contacts with them in February of 2023. He enjoys fishing, and he has been known to go to moose lodges. If you have any information regarding Kevin's disappearance or know his whereabouts, please call the Oxford County, Oklahoma Sheriff's Office at 918-623-1122. And hopefully somebody out there has some information on him. This next case I shared last week. This case came to me, and I did get Shelton's tattoo pictures, which I was very thankful that family allowed a friend to release these images to me and to get them out there. Again, any distinctive markings that someone has, scars, birthmarks, tattoos, piercings, even anything that can distinguish them from the rest. Also, like necklaces, stuff that they wore, especially unique type of jewelry. Anything like that is so good to put out there on a flyer. It helps law enforcement with identification. Also, if anybody would have stolen anything, and someone comes across that and you see that and be like, wait a minute, that's, there's no way, that's a one of a kind. These are all really good things to do. So thank you to the family for allowing me to get these photographs and get them out on his flyer. Shelton Richard Lamar Bennett. He is missing out of Laurel Hill, North Carolina. He went missing on August 24th, 2023. He is 27 years old, 6'1", 185 pounds, black hair, and brown eyes. Shelton has that tattoo, as you could see in the pictures, of that angel wing on his back, but it also goes across to his right side of his shoulder that goes over that right arm. He does wear gold chains, as you can see the 2 gold chains in the picture. He was last seen leaving his home in Rockingham Road wearing a pair of shorts and slides. It is reported that he was going to meet someone just down the road about 5 minutes away. His vehicle, as you can see in the picture, is that blue Dodge Charger, was later located on Butler Road, which is just off of Rockingham. He left behind his wallet and his keys, and his phone has never been found. His phone had pinged for several days after, but since has not been able to, either the phone has been shut off or it lost a battery charge. There have been search efforts, but neither Shelton or his personal items have been located. Foul play is suspected in his case. If you have any information regarding Shelton's disappearance or know his whereabouts, please call Scotland County, North Carolina Sheriff's Office at 910-266-4332 or Precision Search and Rescue at 910-840-1998. I really feel like Shelton's case is another one of those cases that needs to really get information out there. I know from talking to the search and rescue, they have been working hard on his case, trying to get stuff. Also, I've seen where the family has really been out there trying to share his story, get that information out for him. It says Shelton does have a young daughter, and he was very close to his friends and family. That is what I have found, is that he, is not a person that would have just walked off and left. I don't know how the family feels about sharing the information of why. We do suspect foul play in his case, but it was evident at his car that something had transpired. And so it's really important to get this information out there. And I have done a little research about maybe there's a couple individuals that may have some information. I don't know if they're cooperating. The two females, I don't know if family wants to let that out. There's a couple individuals that may know more than what they're saying. So I'm hoping that someone in his case will come forward and be honest with what really happened to him. Because again, here's a child that her father is missing, and they need to be found. Regardless of anything and everything, my heart pours out to these children that their parent is there one day and they're gone the next. And that's just not fair. So if anybody has any information about Shelton or any of these cases, please come forward. You can be anonymous if you want to leave a tip with me. I will gladly take that and give it to law enforcement. Almost every law enforcement agency does have anonymous tip lines, but any little piece can help. Again, if you guys get stuff, even if you think it's strange or out of the blue, I would go ahead and send it over to law enforcement. Let them work through those pieces. I would not ever disregard any type of tips that come in to anybody. So you never know what little tiny piece, maybe you feel it's minute. It may be the piece that law enforcement needs to pursue getting warrants. That's one thing that I've been talking to a lot of families about, is warrants. And I really want people to understand how hard it is for law enforcement to get a warrant. It is not easy for them to get warrants for phones. It is not easy for them to get warrants to search stuff, to get in Google accounts. All this stuff in order for law enforcement to get a warrant is extremely hard. So any little pieces of information or tips, that can all help law enforcement. It takes them time. It has to be written a certain way. They have to have certain evidence, certain, elements to put all that in there in order for a judge to approve it. So again, I want people to know that it is frustrating at times because we feel like law enforcement's not moving fast enough. But again, a lot of the agencies that I've worked for, is just trying to help them get that pieces that they need to get those warrants, because they are extremely hard. So please don't, give up on them or feel like sending something in is not relevant, because anything can help one of these cases. And thank you, Shelton's family, for sharing about his daughter. This next case is Justin Wayne Lowe. He is missing out of Pioneer, Tennessee on May 5th of 2022. He was 40 years old. He is now 42, 5'11", 6 foot, 190 to 200 pounds, brown hair and brown eyes. He does keep his hair short, clean cut. He does have a brown beard and a mustache at the time of his disappearance. He does have multiple tattoos, as you can see there. He was last seen leaving his home wearing a white t-shirt, khaki shorts, tennis shoes, and carrying a green camouflage backpack in Willows Lane area, which is in Pioneer, Tennessee. It is located off of Andale Road, which is right outside Huntsville, Tennessee. It was reported that he had told his loved one that he would be back in an hour, but he has not been seen or heard from since. If you have any information regarding Justin's disappearance or you know his whereabouts, please call the Scott County, Tennessee Sheriff's Office at 423-663-3111. This next case is a case that I share every week for the family. It was a case that was brought to me that was not getting enough coverage, so I definitely want to keep Rebecca out there. This is Rebecca Dimery, missing out of Odessa, Texas on March 1st, 2023. She is 32 years old, 5'5", 190 pounds, brown hair, and hazel eyes. She does have her ears pierced. However, she does not wear earrings. She does wear glasses and has a mole on the left side of her neck. She always wears that gold necklace, which is a cross. This is the best picture that we have found so far. It actually looks like there's hearts that are making across, little individual hearts. This is a one-of-a-kind custom-made cross. She does have a history of seizures and had recently had one when she was in the hospital, and she does have her tongue pierced. Rebecca has a flower tattoo that looks like that picture on her left arm and a heart design tattoo, as you see pictured on her right arm. She does go by the name Becca. Becca had last contact with her loved ones, which she always was in daily contact with. She had spoke to them on the phone on February 28th of 2023, where she had called to see if she could get a ride from the hospital. Her loved ones had been out of town and they were not able to pick her up, but she was seen leaving the hospital with someone that day. Becca's loved one text her that next day on March 1st, but there had been no response from her. She has not been seen or heard from since. Rebecca was last seen wearing that long sleeve gray shirt with a plaid hem, black pants, and gray athletic shoes with a white sole, as you can see in that picture. And she was carrying that black and teal backpack. She was last seen at approximately 3:50 a.m. in southeast Odessa. One thing I will tell you about Rebecca is she is not from Odessa. She does not know that area very well. Foul play is suspected in her case. If you have any information regarding Rebecca's disappearance or know her whereabouts, please call the Odessa, Texas Police Department at 432-335-4609. I know they have done several searches for Becca, and I cannot release a lot that is going on with her case that I know. But I will tell you that law enforcement is very active in her case. There has been some new developments in her case, and hopefully there will be some sort of resolution for her and her family soon on her case. Again, like I said, foul play is very much suspected in her case, but again, law enforcement just has to keep running down leads, and like I said, they are doing a lot of searches on her case. That's really all that I can share. But they have been finding out more and more information. So I'm hoping for her family and for her that there will be some resolution in her case soon. This next case is a case that I came across from Banning, California. This is London Jabari Gibson. He went missing on June 20th of 22. He is 34 years old at the time of his disappearance. He is now 36, 6'1", 215 pounds, red auburn hair and green eyes. He may have a full beard. He does have a mole on his left arm and a scar on his left arm. He does struggle with mental illness and is in need of his medication. He has been living homeless for many years and is known to wander. It is not known where he was staying at or what area he was actively at. He has family that lives in Georgia and has not been able to contact him since December of 2021. However, he did have contact with Banning, California police in June of 2022, and the Anaheim, California police had contact with him in 2021, generating a warrant, which has been purged. So they have taken that warrant away. His family is concerned for his well-being and are wanting to get back in contact with him and get him help. If you have any information regarding London's disappearance or you know his whereabouts, please call the Anaheim, California Police Department at 765-1900. The following case that I have is from Linwood, Washington. This is Michael Allen York. He's been missing since January 1st of 2011. He was 49 years old at the time of his disappearance. He is now 62, 5'8", 145 pounds, brown hair and brown eyes. His hair was short and balding in areas, as you can kind of see in his photographs. He did, at the time, have a gray mustache or beard. As you can see, both of these pictures show him clean shaven and also with that beard and mustache. I think it's always important to be able to give people different views of how someone may look, because in a lot of cases, appearances can change where you would not even recognize them. So again, that's another good tip for family out there when we do these missing persons flyers, or if you're posting about your loved one, is I would definitely give them, if you have pictures of different ways that they looked, if they had longer hair, short hair, mustache, beard, stuff like that, with or without glasses. I just really think that's really highly important. There's little information about Michael's case other than the fact that he was last seen in Linwood, Washington. So if you have any information regarding Michael's disappearance or his whereabouts, please call the Linwood, Washington Police Department at 425-670-5600. And hopefully we can get him located and back to his family. This next case I have shared before, and I have updated Robert Lee Brand's flyer. He is missing out of Cuba, Missouri on January 31st of 2020. He was 60 years old at the time of his disappearance. He is now 64, 5'8" to 5'11", 140 pounds, brown hair and brown eyes. He does wear glasses. He had attended church in Cuba, Missouri, and had later that day been captured on surveillance camera washing his vehicle at a car wash in Cuba, Missouri. His last phone conversation on January 28th of 2020, the earlier part of February 2020, he had a phone conversation with someone. He has not been heard from since. A missing persons report was made on February 9th of 2020. His cell phone and his blue 2019 Chevy Silverwater pickup was found at home. He could be heading to Illinois. If you have any information regarding Robert's disappearance or his whereabouts, please call the Crawford, Missouri Sheriff's Department at 573-775-2125 or the Missouri State Highway Patrol Missing Persons Unit at 866-362-6422. So again, this is an individual that, he went missing in Missouri, but he could possibly be in the Indiana area. So I think it's very important to get that shared out there. This next case, I will tell you that I did not see it in the KBI, which database, which is very unusual. So, but he was recently put into the NamUs, so I went ahead and shared him. I have not had a chance to contact law enforcement to see if he is still active, but I think that there's a possibility that he is still an active missing persons case, and maybe he's just not in the KBI yet. This is Scott Allen Elvin. He is missing out of Lindsborg, Kansas on July 10th of 2008. He was 48 years old. He is now 63, 5'2" to 5'5", 130 to 160 pounds, gray hair and green eyes. He does have a thick mustache. He had withdrew money from his bank in Lindsborg, Kansas, and the Las Vegas Police Department reported finding his vehicle in the desert. His next of kin has not heard from him since July of 2008. If you have any information regarding Scott's disappearance or his whereabouts, please call Lindsborg, Kansas Police Department at 785-227-2988. That is all the information that I've been able to find out on his case, but I definitely think that his case needs to be shared out there in Las Vegas as well, since they did find his vehicle out there. I have 2 more cases to share, so if you guys have any questions, comments, other cases that you want me to cover, please let me know, or even if there's certain areas of the nation that you want me to kind of dig into missing person stuff, please let me know, and I will get those out there for you guys. This is William Walter. He went missing on October 21st of 1998 out of Thousand Palms, California. At the time of his disappearance, he was 28 years old. He would now be 53, 5'11", 150 pounds, brown hair, and blue eyes. He does wear glasses. He does go by the name Willie. He was last seen wearing a blue jumpsuit at the World Products Recycling at 4 p.m., which is located in Thousand Palms, California, on October 21st of 1998. There's little information out on his case, so if you have any information regarding William's disappearance or you know his whereabouts, please call the Riverside County, California Sheriff's Department at 951-955-2400. And the last case that I will be sharing with you guys tonight is Willie Edward Rashaw. He's missing out of Indo, California on July 22nd of 2009. He was 46 years old at the time of his disappearance. He is now 61, 5'10", 175 pounds, black hair, and brown eyes. He does have an unknown tattoo on his upper right arm. So William was living as a transient who was last seen at the Del Taco on Highway 111 and Osage Street in Indo, California. He is originally from Blythe, California, and he was staying at the Coachella Valley Rescue Mission. His friend, who is a transient as well, reported him missing when he was not able to locate him or find him at the mission. A female stating to be his sister had called wanting to be contacted by law enforcement first. However, it was never confirmed that that was his sister. His mother, father, and brother are all deceased. He was last seen wearing a dark blue baseball hat with an eagle on the front, black t-shirt, beige pants, and black and white tennis shoes. If you have any information regarding Willie's disappearance or know his whereabouts, please call the Riverside County, California Sheriff's Department, the Thermo Station at 760-863-8900. And hopefully someone out there knows Willie, sees Willie, and can get some information out there and get him located. Other than that, you guys, that's what I have for you guys tonight. Please go out and share these flyers. I do have a couple of them that I have not gotten posted yet. Like I said, with Facebook restricting me, I just was able, I've been making flyers and I was just able to get them shared out. Again, I don't know why they restricted me, but I'm going to continue sharing as much as possible. So please help these families get these flyers shared. If you guys, any of the advocates or anybody has cases you guys want me to share and get flyers out, please let me know. I would gladly be able to do that. If there's any family members out here that want additional information or have different pictures or anything that I can get on their flyers, please let me know. Reach out to me. You can reach out to me anytime. If you need to talk, if you're frustrated, anything, please feel free to reach out. Like I said, we do have them out on the platforms, on the Guardian Voice of the Missing platforms. Please do not forget about the Guardian Voice of the Missing Unidentified page. Again, this is not something that we always want to think about, a loved one being deceased. But I thought it was very important to put up another page for that. I do encourage family members to go out there. I will tell you and warn you that some of the photographs are very hard to look at. But if it can help locate someone and identify someone, that would be great. There also are unclaimed individuals out there that law enforcement and medical examiners are trying to locate their next of kin as well. So it's always just good to go and check out those. So I try to keep that separate from the missing because I want to keep the missing persons pages for that. I know there's other pages out there that they, mix them all up. But I do keep the unidentified and unclaimed page, Guardian page, to just that. So please go out there and check. I know me as an advocate, if I do see anybody that is a possibility on any of the cases that I know, I do contact law enforcement and I do contact NamUs to have them check it out. You can always contact them. You can always contact law enforcement if you do come across someone that you think could possibly be your loved one or on another case. You can always reach out to them and let them know, and they will look into that as well. So please go out there and check, that as well, and see if there is someone out there, but I will warn you that some of those pictures are very, very hard to look at. So please go out there and look. You are most welcome, Sharon. All right. Again, thank you to all the families that share their loved ones' stories with me. I've really met some great people out there, and you guys are always in my thoughts and prayers. I'm always here for you. You can always reach out to me. I will get back to you. Never feel like you're a burden. I have a lot of families that say, I just feel like I'm a burden. You're never a burden when you reach out to me, or I can't speak for all the advocates, but especially to me, you're never a burden. That's what I'm here for. That's what I'm always going to be here for. Don't ever feel like you're alone. And I know that's one of the other biggest, hardest things that families tell me is they always feel like they're alone and there's nobody out there. You're not alone. And again, I can't say enough for the families that are out there that support other families for what you guys are going through. And, you guys can, talk back and forth, and comment on each other's comments and on flyers, and just, have that support. Know that you're not alone. That's what we're here for. For all the advocates that are out there, I thank you guys so much for just the networking that has been built between all of us, and getting information when one of us gets suspended, the other, you guys all, join in and share. I don't feel like anybody's better than anybody. I think that they're the advocates that I have came across and that I network with. I think you guys are all wonderful. You guys have such big hearts, and do a really great job getting great information out there, being supportive of the family. So I thank the advocates out there, law enforcement. I think law enforcement too, the private investigators, all those people for the time that they put in. I know it doesn't always seem like, people are working cases, but I'll let you know, even if you don't see us, we are all working cases. Law enforcement's working your cases and stuff. And, a lot of law enforcement are swamped with cases, and they don't have like a specific missing persons, so they're handling sometimes hundreds of cases and stuff. So just hang in there. You guys are all in my prayers, and, thank you so much. And again, the families, God bless every one of you guys. Thank you for sharing, and know that we will continue to share your loved ones, get that information out there, and hopefully to get your loved one back home. You're welcome, Carol. Very, very welcome. And Jennifer, you are most welcome, and we will continue sharing Shelton's case. I had never heard of his case before until one of the search and rescue guys reached out to me, and the friend that reached out to me, very, very nice. So thank you very much for letting him give me those photos of his tattoos, because that was something I thought would be very pertinent to have on his thing. So God bless you guys all. I hope you guys have a good night. If there is anything that you guys need or anything that I can do for you guys, please let me know. If there's areas or cases that you guys want me to get out there, let me know. And God bless you guys, and I will see you guys next week.